So I'm a stick figure, right? I have thin limbs and a disproportionately large head, but in my own stick figure community, there has just been this huge trend for the past 2 years of just specifically talking about one thing. And if you clicked on this video, you know what thing I'm talking about. It's weed. Just weed, 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 weed. That's all they talk about. So many channels based on just one thing. So this is the YouTube phenomenon of weed stick figures. So it all starts with this guy, Mostly True. He made videos where he was a stick figure, he talked about weed, he made a video called The 7 Levels of High, and that blew up. And I guess people saw that and were like, hey, I can get popular off of just making terrible drawings and telling stories about being high? Hell yeah, sign me up! And that's what they did, the biggest one being Chains for Real. Now I've watched quite a lot of his videos, and a lot of them just are the exact same. He gets high. He gets high. He gets drunk. He gets high. He gets drunk. And then he gets high. Truly innovative content. Now, there's nothing wrong with telling stories about being high, but please, for the love of God, tell interesting stories. The focal point of your story is just being high, then it's not a story worth telling. In fact, there's a lot of time where you could just cut out the whole being high part and you'd be left with the exact same video. Chains for Real's whole channel is just getting high and drunk in high school. That's it. This dude peaked in high school and it really shows. Hey, remember that time I got high in the school bathroom? No, wait, but remember that time I got drunk in the school locker room? Yeah, you did that every Tuesday. Remember that time I went to school high and drunk, dude? And I see them all the time make fun of vapors, and I'm not defending vapors, okay? I make fun of them too, but you're addicted to weed. Just because weed isn't as bad as vapes and cigarettes does not make them any less harmful. An alcoholic can make fun of a meth head, but they'll both end up dead in the end. There's only 3 channels I've ever seen actually talk about the negative side effects of weed. And Legit DC, an actual weed stick figure, made a video about this exact same topic. And one thing he said really sums up this whole thing. It's not that being high makes the story interesting, it's the story that makes the story interesting. And don't take this video as a complete diss on weed, okay? I don't care about weed. You can smoke it, you can eat it. Hell, if it was offered to me, I might even take it. And there's 3 channels that are pretty interesting because they're like weed stick figures, but not really. But they make the same type of content as a weed stick figure would, offending everyone who makes interesting content. His humor is similar to Family Guy, where it's an oh geez Lois setup, and then he just randomly throws in a dark humor joke that doesn't make any sense to what he's saying. It's a random Speed McQueen video thrown in there every minute and a half. You're breaking up with me. Oh geez, Lois, this reminds me of that time. Insert joke about disabled people. And Birdie and the Duck pretty much spend their time complaining about Gen Alpha, complaining about Gen Z, or complaining about the internet. I don't know why people hate on other people just for being born in a certain generation. And they always make huge blanket statements across an entire generation. And their thumbnails are really sexualized for some reason, which is weird for people who complain about simps. And when you make fun of people who never go outside, it kind of makes you look like a hypocrite when you're making videos called Types of Woman in Gen Z. Another thing these guys like to do is constantly talk about high school, which is pretty obvious for people who peaked in high school. And I remember I made a video called Types of Kids in High School, and there's a reason I don't do videos like that anymore is because I didn't want to dissolve into this gray mush like all these other guys. Especially the popularity aspect of it, where they talk about the social popularity pyramids, and I'm gonna debunk that theory right away. That does not exist. Yes, there are kids who are technically more popular than others, but it isn't this obvious pyramid where it's these level 1 nerds who wear glasses and suspenders and give the teacher an apple, versus the level 100 Sigma Chad who gets all the girls, gets all the party invitations, and owns a mansion and a Lamborghini. Popularity in school doesn't really matter at all. And the people who say they run this school are usually narcissistic assholes by the second high school ends. Their whole popularity column is just gonna crumble beneath them. How to be cool, which is pretty much just an 8-minute video of him glazing his friend Bob. And I mean Bob, please let me hit it just once. I'll pay you my entire life savings. Just please, I'm so down bad. And that's basically it. They talk about high school and getting high. And some of these guys do have interesting stories that I watch. I watch some of these guys' content, if it's interesting, but so many of them are just one time my friend texted me, bro, I got the boof boof pack. Then I went to my friend's house and we smoked the boof boof pack. Then we got so high, I felt like I was on Mars from the boof boof pack. Bro, and then we got hungry because we got the munchies. Then we ate food. And then after we ate so much food that we went back downstairs to his room. Then we watched. That's it. Thanks for watching, and you won't find the bodies. But in conclusion, don't peek in high school.